Update, Ida, because I don't want my half-brothers to come on a trip with my uncle and I. This is an update to my original post https://id.com/r/mi-hole/comments/1ick3wg/ida_because_I want_my_2_come/. Thanks to everyone who answered. After reading the comments, I realized it wasn't my place to ask my uncle not to invite my brothers, as he is also their uncle. Also, if I chose not to go, it would just be denying myself something I really wanted to do and would upset my uncle, which I didn't want, so I decided to go to the NASCAR race. I also decided against saying anything further at that time. The days before we left, it felt like my brothers were being nicer than usual, so that was cool. They added me to their group chat so that it would be easier to keep in contact on the trip. The reason they gave: I roomed with one of my older brothers, Max, in the hotel. On Saturday we went to the racetrack for the first races. I was getting food when I accidentally cut the line. I thought the people standing in front had already ordered. Someone pointed it out to me and I went to the right spot in line. There was a guy in line who was super mad, going on about how I was a little asshole and only apologized because I got caught, and he walked up to me yelling. And then Max appeared and told the guy to calm down and to stop yelling at me. He kept yelling at me and Max stood between me and the guy and told him, if you say another thing to my little brother we're going to have a problem, and the guy finally backed off. I've never seen Max as mad as he was right then over that guy yelling at, and it mean a lot the way he jumped in. Back in our hotel room that night, I was thanking Max again for standing up for me earlier, and he told me as his brother he'd always do that for me. It seemed like the right moment, so I finally took the advice and opened up to him. I told him that I wished me, him, Jake and Shane hung out more together, and I'd like doing more stuff with him and them. We talked for a long time about our relationship. Max then talked to Shane and Jake, because the next day they both apologized for me having felt left out as well. When we flew back home, Max had told Jake more of what I had said. He asked me if he could first. Jake and I went out on Tuesday and talked about it a bunch, and he kept apologizing for letting me down. I told it was probably mutual and I didn't act like I wanted to spend time with them, but he told me he was my big brother and should have been better. We've all agreed to do better going forward. Kinda funny that it was a drunk guy yelling at me which got me to open up in the end.